Number 10. Shaken, not stirred. A good cocktail at the end of a busy week is a simple pleasure most of us like to indulge in, and so apparently do poltergeists. Because in this mind-boggling clip, you'll see a spirit making their drink preferences crystal clear. Take a look. Note to self. Spirits do not like their pina coladas too sweet. All jokes aside though, what happened here? It seemed to happen so fast. But when we slow it down, things seem to get even spookier. Did you see the way the bottle was yanked? There is no way the bottle could have slipped out of her hand that violently. And the clear shock in her face screams paranormal activity. But was it? How do you explain this one? Let us know what you think in the comments. Number 9. Cabin in the woods. Cabins are either warm, cozy, safe havens, or rickety hellscapes with no one in between. And this one is no exception, because the people watching the CCTV footage of the area surrounding the cabin felt like they were in their own personal horror movie when they saw this.
Burada fark ettim. Dışarı çıktım. Baktım kayboldu. Burada kayboldu. Ondan sonra koşturdum şey.
What the hell happened there? The camera is too far away from the action for us to get a good look. But from what we can see, it's not pretty. One figure seems to vanish when, all of a sudden, 2 figures appear to start flying? This begs the question. Did they know something was out there? Could this be a human trespasser or a ghostly one? What do you think? Number 8. Outlast. Do you remember that horror game that stormed the internet several years ago?
Try searching so up.
Little pig.
Where you played a guy armed with nothing but a camera and some batteries, taking on a psychiatric hospital full of violent ghosts and monsters. Of course, I'm talking about the Outlast series. But those creatures might not just be pixels and rendering techniques. And these guys found that out the hard way while investigating an abandoned building. Take a look. This is another classic case of the thing wasn't on screen long enough for us to see it properly. You could say the speed at which they flipped the camera around was sketchy, but would your first instinct not be to get the hell out of there too? There are equal chances this could be edited, a prop, a crazy guy, or a real-life monster. But there's no way to know for sure. What do you think? A poltergeist told me you enjoy scary videos like this, but don't subscribe just yet. We'll earn your subscription by the end of this scary compilation. Number 7. QuickTime events. Paranormal activity isn't always all-night stakeouts with infrared equipment, shadow figures, and disembodied hefty footsteps.
Oh my god!
Although those kinds of videos are very entertaining, sometimes paranormal activity is just as quick and as fleeting as those strange shapes you see out of the corner of your eye, or the phantom breaths in empty rooms that make the hairs on the back of your neck stand up. These next clips have just the same fleeting, blink and you'll miss it type of feeling, except you can't actually see it play out before your very eyes. while there is always the chance to argue till you're blue in the face about unbalanced weight, offset shenanigans and hidden strings, it doesn't take away from the fact that these events are strange. Surely if it were unbalanced weight or a string being forcefully pulled, more than one chair would have fallen off the table, more than one cage would have rolled out, and God knows what was going on with the washing machine. It could have happened automatically. But are there any washing machines that do that? Do you think these clips are quick-time paranormal events? Or is there another explanation behind it? Let us know. Number 6. The Summoning. Huge shout out to Belina for sending this video to our Instagram. You've heard of us using chants, Ouija boards, and blood sacrifices to summon the dead. But have you ever heard of people using incense? These guys attempted to summon a tribe of jinns and genies using supposedly the world's most powerful incense in an abandoned cabaret in Tehran, and the footage they captured was insane. Take a look.
چی داره میاد؟ چی داره میاد؟
سروش
تو دوربین نمیافته، تو دوربین نمیافته.
سروش
حاجی از همه طرفه حاجی اینجان حاجی
سروش مراقب باش.
Wherever the hell these guys are, they definitely aren't alone. All of the footage captured is quite blurred and extremely fleeting, but that makes it no less petrifying. The dark figure moving around the building is reminiscent of some kind of survival horror game, and unless they had a friend with them who was tasked with running around and acting creepy for the sake of a few views, there's only a more terrifying option. They were being tormented by someone, or something, with bad intentions. Interestingly, jinns throughout Islamic culture are often known to be mostly invisible to the human eye. So, what the hell was following them around the building? Do you know much about the summoning of jinns in Islamic culture? If so, let us know in the comment section. Number 5. Light Show. Being home alone usually sets any existing paranoia on a knife's edge. Any creaks,
Right?
bumps, or bangs make you jump right out of your seat. But you can normally get yourself back to normal by thinking, it's all inside my head, right? Well, you can, but only until you see the light switches flipping on and off before your very eyes.
Okay, so it's doing it again. That switch down there is on. You see it past my shaking. This one is on, okay? It's Mom. See what I mean? It's fucking. You can hear it. You can. Mom, nope.
A follow-up post was made by this guy's sibling on Reddit, explaining exactly what happened. According to them, their brother was completely alone in their parents' house dog-sitting, while the sibling on Reddit says that they have never felt or experienced anything awry or even at all particularly spooky in the house. They're stumped by this whole thing. The way the light switch clearly flicks up and down and stays almost perfectly in the middle seems nearly impossible to fake. And automatic lights don't have light switches that move on their own either. So what's going on? His reactions seem so genuine too. The gasps and shouts don't sound forced at all.
Mom.
Usually, flickering lights could be anything, but it seems like different rules apply to this clip. What do you think happened here? Let us know. Number 4. Prepare for launch. The night sky is one of the best natural beauties in the world, peppered with things like shooting stars, gorgeous constellations, and huge flying unidentified objects. At least that's what this person saw while they were gazing into the sky. The original poster points out that the UFO seems to disappear and reappear towards the end of the clip and changes colour. They say that the clip was taken in southwest Las Vegas and that the object was travelling west to east. But could it just be a SpaceX launch? It could. The times in which they were seeing it and the direction it was going lined up directly with an official SpaceX launch. However, some argued that the way it moved sideways at some point doesn't seem like normal SpaceX behaviour. Was it really SpaceX? Or could there be something else behind this weird footage? Let us know your thoughts. Number 3. Sweet dreams. The baby is fed, bathed, and fast asleep in bed, which is what we all want, isn't it? A nice, quiet night. That's what this family thought they were in for before they heard the distant cries coming from the bedroom. They thought nothing of it until they looked at the baby monitor footage, and a simultaneous chill went down all their spines. The baby could have just been having a bad dream and jerked themselves awake. The first thing little kids tend to do when they wake up is start crying. But as logical as that sounds, doesn't it look like someone or something yanked the baby's whole body to the side? And those cries seem like the ones of genuine terror. And we all know that young children are more susceptible to seeing supernatural beings. What do you think happened here? Leave your theory in the comments. Number 2. Pull the strings. While investigating a supposedly haunted puppet fashioned after an old man, the guys over on HD Paranormal decided their best bet was to record it for as long as possible, in the hopes of catching some raw paranormal footage. And, as it turns out, they caught something absolutely bone-chilling. The video isn't very clear, the picture is fuzzy, and the camera is pretty far away from the action, but they swear that the thing moving was the operating cross of the puppet, and it was in a sealed cabinet. So, if all of that is true, how the hell was it moving? Any idea? Number 1. The morgue. Morgues are never very happy places, but at the very least, they're normally clean and efficient. You're safe in the knowledge that the dead are at peace and being tended to, unless, God forbid, they were lugged into this morgue we are about to show you. According to the reporter in the video, the bodies in this morgue were dumped there and left for a long time, to the point that they smelled, and he commented that the varying conditions of the bodies were complicated, which isn't a great way to start, but surprisingly, that isn't even the creepiest part about this video. Take a look.
¿Vamos? Bueno, estamos en interiores de la morgue del Hospital de Clínicas, pues y las condiciones en las que se encuentran los cuerpos ya sin vida son complicadas. Les invito a que vean estas imágenes. Se siente un olor
What on earth happened there? A room full of bodies and a padlock that moves around all by itself is not a good combination. While there could be any number of reasons it moved the way it did, none of them really make any sense. If it were the wind, then we would have seen movement elsewhere, like in the guy's hair for example. And if it was someone hiding off screen, or a string messing with the padlock, then we would have seen some kind of shadow somewhere, right? So, who or what moved it? There are no further developments regarding this clip. We don't know what hospital this was, where it was, or what actually happened. But considering the sheer horror of what was going on inside, we can only assume it was terrible enough to be featured on the news, and subsequently closed down. Hey, here's a playlist full of creepy stuff caught on camera for you to enjoy. Don't forget to bump the like button, subscribe, and click the bell icon to avoid missing our weekly SPOOKFEST. Thanks for watching. Stay in the dark.